matchup is notorious, mainly because these two players, perhaps the two most defensive players in the New York scene in their own right.
I mean, it's sped up a lot in the past few months.
That is true. The last set I saw between these two, in which I forget who, I think Numbers took it. But it was like, there was a lot of action. But right now, Numbers just going for these sun salutations. He has the 5% lead. And one of the things, so this is a matchup that it goes to timeout.
No, Sinji has the 5% lead.
No, he didn't. Oh, now he does.
No, he doesn't. He has a 4% lead.
Wait, what? No, Sinji's behind.
Now Sinji's behind.
Yeah, he what? What? Anyway, honk. So, ooh, that was actually really good. Numbers grabbing that the belt to get out of that pressure, and he taunts. What is in his head? What is going on in the head of John Numbers right now? He's just like, he's just C-dropping this bell like nobody's business. And he still has it. I'm just waiting for him to actually throw it.
When you've had like 40 Nebuluses to practice fighting a character, you kind of figure out what works and what doesn't. And Numbers is doing where it works because he has the opportunity to do it.
Yeah. And so, right now, Numbers still with the lead, and this is the type of matchup where the lead is paramount. The lead basically dictates who has to approach, and a beautiful combo from Sinji puts him in a significant lead by about 30% right now, and he's extending it even more, but Numbers now has the bell in hand. And I feel like a lot of players, it's like them grabbing the fruit is not that scary. Numbers, I do not want to see what this man does. Oh, the trampoline saved him! That was definitely an up smash had the trampoline not gotten in his way. Ooh, and so we see the nair from John Numbers. He's just, yeah, he's using the sun salutation to get rid of those hydrants. And one of the things about it is Refa Trainer, of course, she heals herself by 2% for each of those fully charged sun salutations, which means that when you're trying to play the war of attrition and whoever has the lead is, look at that pivot. Whoever has the lead is the one who doesn't have to approach. The fact that Numbers can basically just keep camping until he has the lead again is a huge factor. Ooh, and so right now, and the up air, really nice from Numbers, sneaking that in. And he's just going to heal off even more percent, and Sinji has to figure out a way to close out the stock. He has Bell in hand, trying to look for some kind of trap, and he gets it, and that F smash is actually going to hit. Wow. So
I'll be back in 3 minutes when the other stock is lost.
All right. So yeah, that is true. Right now we have, we're probably not going to timeout. Usually as you get closer and closer to the end, you know, as like, you know, there's a minute on the clock, it gets a lot more aggressive. But keep in mind that at this point, every single little hit matters. They are tied, 38% apiece. Ooh, yeah, but that's the problem. And he goes for it. He actually gets the Pac-Man grab. It's a sort of thing where Pac-Man's grab is the worst in the game, but you never expect to get hit by the worst thing in the game. And that's how he manages it. And so right now, we still have Sinji with a slight lead, but Numbers can always heal this back bit by bit. I remember one time they had a match like this, and afterwards they looked and Numbers had healed like 60 to 70% just from sun salutation, which is huge. You know, like oftentimes 60 to like the timeouts are decided by less than 60-70%. So it definitely is a factor that must be considered. Ooh, Numbers knows he has to approach, and so doing so kind of running up, but staying in a safe distance. And Sinji's just tacking on percent after percent. Oh, that key almost connecting, but Wii Fit Trainer very floaty. Oh, but the nair to interrupt John Numbers' recovery. And the hammer, but he's going to, that was so much damage. Wow. Yeah, and at this point, it doesn't seem like Numbers can really win the percent war. He's going to have to find some way to get an early kill within 1 minute and 13 seconds. And right now, so Sinji is at death percent from, say a smash attack from Numbers, but Numbers not really known to go for those risky plays. with a minute left on the clock, he has to be hyper aware of this. Key is now live. Numbers realizes it, manages to block every hit, but oh, that up B almost taking it. And right now, Numbers has to, he's conscious of the timer, and he knows that he needs to find some way to even this up. That back air connects, but it's not the sweet spot. Numbers has the apple. Whoa. That should be a nice punish. Numbers getting the apple, but not much else. The hydrant going to connect on him, though, and that's going to be game 1 in favor of DA Sinji.
I forgot I didn't take any of the clips for this set because I walked away in the middle of it.
You missed the section where Sinji got like 80% in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
Which is what happens with Pac-Man. Like, he plays extremely patiently, but once you fall into one of those like demon traps, you take like 80%, and then he's totally comfortable timing you out because you then have to make up that percent. Ooh. That shield on Numbers is looking awfully small, but he actually gets the grab, buying himself a little bit of time. I like the fact that Numbers knows how small his shield is, so he's spending a lot more time airborne to make sure that it can get refreshed. Oh, that Galaxian actually blocking the Sun Salutation. Oh, that's going to be a back air for Numbers, and 58% on Sinji right now. Numbers actually using the, ooh, that didn't break it. I guess, interesting, I wonder why. Anyway, so Numbers has this lead, but, you know, Sinji is a force to be reckoned with. He can make it, comebacks happen so quickly in terms of percent. When it gets to time for killing, both of these players are, that's where the real meat comes in. Whoever, it's not always the case, but, you know, whoever does take the first stock has a huge advantage. And right now, Sinji actually off stage. That was such good use of his fruit. And, oh, but he's going to get hit by Numbers' hoops. He's going to be making it back to stage. And now only about 15% or so separating them. But the Sun Salutation is going to connect, but it's not going to kill. And that's all Sinji really cares about right now, is surviving. Numbers at 86. He needs to find some way to rack up enough percent that some of Pac-Man's normals might finally take a stock. And this is the sort of situation where giving Numbers too much space, the fact that, oh, and that up air going to take it, and Numbers able to heal another 2%, and you know, it's pretty, you know, when Sinji is losing the, when he loses all of that rage, Pac-Man, who arguably one of the, he struggles to kill maybe the most in this game. It's honestly very, it's debatable, but it's I'd say he's a contender. And when he loses all of that rage, it just becomes that much harder for him. Wow, that was amazing, just defensive option by Numbers. He power shields the bell and gets the jab in time. Ooh, cute. Numbers, it's always so interesting to watch how he knows how, like, where every single one of his moves is going to knock that soccer ball. And the F-tilt from Numbers going to be some more percent, 64 already on Sinji. And we have almost 3 minutes on the clock, which means that even if Sinji manages to take this right now, he has to worry about that big timeout possibility. Ooh, and he's going to get it back. Nice. And that could be it. Oh, and yeah, I don't think Sinji DI'd that because he was down smash. Like, how do you DI down smash on reaction? But that does mean that Numbers takes game 2 in a 2-stock. We are going to moving on into game 3. I know that Sinji, you know, he definitely likes FD. I wouldn't be surprised if we see FD for game 3 here. But at the same time, that game looks pretty convincing for Numbers. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a different stage. Well, we are, technically. We're getting the counter pick to Omega Willie's Castle.
Omega Willie's Castle.
Omega Willie's Castle. I really don't think this is a good idea.
You know, I will say, something that this matchup really highlights for Numbers is his ability to really trace players in the air. Numbers is really good at noticing what way his opponent's probably going to try to go to escape pressure. and taking advantage of that with his super floaty character and up airing them or back airing them.
Yeah, we actually saw that. That's how Numbers took the first stock last set, or last game rather. And it's definitely something that I have seen. He's just so adept at reading drift. And right now, Numbers with a slight percent deficit and this amazing pressure by Sinji. Yeah, when that happens, when Numbers' shield gets whittled down to a nub, you see that he just takes to the air. He does like 5 spot dodges. We mentioned how Wii Fit Trainer is very floaty. By the time she actually lands back on the ground, she has most of her shield back. Ooh, but now we're seeing this ledge trapping game on the part of Sinji. What a beautiful spacing, just narrowly dodging that sun salutation. And so when that's Galaxian, that's even more damage, 99% on John Numbers right now. And Sinji looking to bring this even more into his favor. The up tilt. You never really see Pac-Man up tilt. But it's sometimes a good option. It is one of his fastest ways to cover above him. Interesting. But when there is the, yeah, we're just seeing, oh, that was really smart. So that's the thing that, that Sinji does, especially against characters who have that, you know, projectile, the big projectile that will come at him. And, you know, it's very threatening. He will just throw out his side B, and the pellet will drop, and it means that he cancels out the projectile, and he's able to heal a little bit.
Yeah. The weird thing is that when he eats that projectile, when he's doing the actual side B, he is super armor. But if he just drops on the ground, he can just eat it for like 2%, right?
Yes.
It's so weird. I don't know why.
It's neat. This game is neat. It's a fun game for fun families.
Super Smash Brothers.
All right, and Numbers now approaching max rage, and honestly, he still only has to worry about like 3 things that Sinji can do. But those 3 things are dangerous. As we see, we're actually starting to see Sinji go for more of these grabs. He recognizes that Numbers is shielding a lot, but Numbers is actually mixing it up with like jumping to catch Sinji going for those risky grabs.
We just see Numbers like just jumping. He just stays in shield until his shield is almost withered, and then he forces Sinji to just guess. And Sinji's been doing a pretty good job of guessing, but he isn't getting the kill yet, so.
Oh, that was really nice from Sinji. He's actually doing an amazing job of avoiding these sun salutations, but he's still looking to get this kill, and we actually have less than 3 minutes on the clock right now. We haven't really seen the timeout be a factor yet in this set, but this is where it especially gets to be a, you know, something that these players have to worry about when the first stock takes so long, like we're seeing right now. And Sinji actually, despite having that huge lead, he's pretty close to kill percent, actually. There are definitely options that Numbers has that will take the stock right now.
Numbers hasn't taken a single percent in the past, like half minute.
I think he did, but he healed it.
Maybe.
I'm not sure. But right now, Numbers still surviving at 153%, but he's going to eat that hydrant, and it's going to take his stock. And now, I say that Sinji not only... Sorry.
Oh, you okay? Need some water? It's okay, I got it. Yo, Sinji just kind of like playing on the ledge because he realizes that Numbers is hungry for that kill. He was a little frustrated after getting squashed by the hydrant, which, you know, super reasonable. And Numbers missing an opportunity to just bear him off the ledge. He was at the right position for that to have worked.
Yeah, but right now, so what ends up happening is because not only does that was
a no-win situation.
Oh.
The best he could have done was hoped that Numbers was either going to activate the trampoline or just gone for the red for the orange, get in the maximum height, and then try to get as far away from Numbers as possible. That wasn't going to work with Numbers having Sun Salutation on deck. And Galaxian, like, proving to be a good defensive tool for Sinji. And only a minute left. I don't think this is going to come down to... This is probably going to come down to time.
It is, which means at this point, every single little percent counts. And this is honestly why I think timeouts are so exciting, because in a larger game, you know, those single hits maybe don't matter, you know? Like, what's a Wii Fit Trainer down tilt really going to mean? But Wii Fit Trainer down tilt does like 12%, and that can be the difference between, you know, Numbers having the lead or not. Oh, but that's really smart. Those 2% that he can heal right there, it's even larger, even more of a factor. Numbers gets the landing. But only 40 seconds on the clock and about 40%, never mind, 19% separating these two players. This is looking extremely even at the moment, but 30 seconds on the clock. If Numbers manages to continue having some momentum, but he gets hit by that hydrant, that could be huge. Now he has to make back even more percent. Oh, when he gets nair, this is looking really grim for Numbers at the moment. He needs some type of big combo just to make it back. Those jabs are not going to be enough. And Sinji just waiting on ledge.
Numbers is going to go for it. He's going to go for it.
Oh, and he goes for it, but it's just... Oh, and the 5 seconds separating them.
No, it's over. He can't do anything. Numbers, no. That's the terrible thing about timeouts is that it comes down to an anticlimactic finish with like very little catharsis.
Well, the thing is that that's the point, you know? The things in life... Well, no, okay, well, maybe not that. But, you know, it's the thing where when you watch timeouts, there is always that moment. It's like the Hail Mary in the Super Bowl, you know? Every Hail Mary, in my opinion, is so hype because they just throw it all the way down. And yes, it's like chances are it's not going to work. If that would work, they would have been doing that from the beginning. But it's that thing, that, you know, that just that idea that this is the last second, it might actually make the difference in the game. And that's why, you know, when Numbers goes off stage there and he goes for that side B trying to read Sinji getting back, it's, yes, it didn't work out, but it's like in that moment you just hold your breath. Thank you to Sandbag for subbing.
Yeah, we'll send your regards to Bars, but I think that man dipped. He was not happy when he lost to Milk. He was actually not playing Mystery.
What?